Here's my first alcohol marker test. As I used these markers, I realized this is how magic markers always used to be. The original magic markers were alcohol markers, if I remember correctly. I never was really good with these, which I discovered as I was using them. But they're so beautiful. The colors go on so consistently and evenly. But you do have to be careful, because if you go back over a color, it's going to get darker and darker the more you go over it. It's not like a paint marker where the color lays on and then it's the same quality no matter how many times you coat it. It just stays the color. So these also bleed a little bit as you're coloring them. They don't stay in the lines. What I like about these markers is one side is like a brush and the other side is a chisel. So you have a way of getting into some fine areas, but it will still bleed. So you have to be aware of that. I also found, there's my cat. She decided to visit and sit on my Alien Glamorous girl. I also realized that, I like a little bit more gradient in my coloring, which is why I prefer colored pencils. But it's a fun experiment. It's fun to mix up the materials. And they don't smell. This brand does not smell. They just are nice. They go on clean. The original alcohol markers that I used to use back in the 80s and 90s, I'm dating myself, they had a really strong smell, but these do not have that same situation. And then I got in there with paint pens to make some stars. Used some colored pencils to create a couple of gradients, just to add a little bit more texture. Overall, I really like using the alcohol markers. It's a nice base. I think I'm gonna do some more work on this page and experiment more with layering colored pencil and paint pens on top of it. But I think this first pass is a good experiment with them to get used to using markers again as a coloring tool. And you can see it really bleeds through the page, which is why I made this second edition of Alien Glamour, because if the artwork was on the other side of that, it would be impossible to color. So there you have it. The cardboard I used is very thick. I don't think a piece of paper would be enough to stop it from bleeding through. So be warned. Happy coloring.